You know, when we think of Greek mythology, we often jump to the heroes and the monsters. But let's go back, way back, to the very beginning. Because at the heart of it all is this cosmic revolution, a brutal 10-year war that literally decided the fate of the universe. We're talking about the Titanomachy, the ultimate celestial power struggle.
And it all kicks off with this absolutely terrifying question. See, before Zeus was the king of the gods, he was a child who was supposed to be killed, eaten, actually, by his own father. So his victory wasn't just about grabbing power, it was about trying to break this vicious cycle of betrayal that he was born into.
You see, this whole epic war didn't just start with Zeus. The roots go deeper. It was all part of this brutal pattern, sons overthrowing their fathers. And it all stemmed from a prophecy that echoed through the cosmos long before the Olympians were even a thing.
So, it all started with Uranus, the original ruler of the sky. He had these, well, monstrous children, the 100-handed Humanitext and the one-eyed Cyclopes, and he was so horrified by them that he just imprisoned them deep inside the earth. Now their mother, Gaia, was furious. I mean, can you blame her? So she forges this sickle, gives it to her most ambitious son, Cronus, who then ambushes his own dad, overthrows him, and seizes the throne.
But here's the thing about power you get from betrayal. It's never really secure, is it? Cronus gets this haunting prophecy from his own parents, the ones he just defeated. And they warn him, one of your own kids is going to do the exact same thing to you. And that warning, well, it's going to drive him to do something truly unimaginable.
To stop the prophecy from coming true, Cronus came up with a horrifying plan. He decided to just eliminate the threat. So one by one, as his wife Rhea gave birth, he just swallowed his children whole. Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, all of them gone, consumed by their own father. Rhea is just heartbroken, right? She knows she can't let this happen again. So when her next child, Zeus, is born, she hides him away on the island of Crete. And then she hands Cronus a rock wrapped up in baby clothes. And Cronus, just blinded by his own paranoia, swallows the rock without a second thought. He has no idea his own doom is now growing up in secret. Okay, so years pass. Zeus grows up and he is ready for some payback. His first move? He tricks Cronus into throwing up all of his siblings. And now, with the family finally free and reunited, the stage is set for a war, and it is not going to be a quick one. So now they're all together. The 6 young gods, the original Olympians. And they declare war on Cronus and the rest of the Titans. The Titanomachy had officially begun. This wasn't just a family feud anymore. This was a battle for absolute control of everything. But you've got to understand, this was no quick fight. For 10 long years, this war just raged on. A whole decade of divine conflict that shook the very foundations of the world. And neither side could get the upper hand. It was a perfect, brutal stalemate. You have these two cosmic armies basically dug in on their own mountain fortresses. On one side, you've got Zeus and the Olympians on Mount Olympus, and on the other, Cronus and the Titans holding down Mount Othrys. They were just too evenly matched, locked in this endless, grinding war. So after 10 years of this deadlock, it becomes pretty clear that just brute force isn't going to cut it. To win, Zeus was going to have to think outside the box. He needed to find an advantage his father had totally overlooked, a secret weapon hidden in the darkest corner of the cosmos. I mean, seriously, how do you break a deadlock between gods? When raw power is so perfectly balanced, what could possibly tip the scales? Well, the answer came from the very first victim of all this cosmic tyranny, Gaia, the Earth herself. Gaia gives Zeus a new prophecy, and this one is the key to victory. She tells him he's only going to win if he frees the prisoners of Tartarus. And who are they? They're the same monstrous children that Uranus had locked away a whole generation ago, his own uncles. And this was the moment everything changed. Zeus goes down into the abyss and frees his uncles, the Cyclops. And they are so grateful they forge these incredible, game-changing weapons for him and his brothers. For Zeus, the thunderbolt. For Poseidon, the trident. And for Hades, the helm of darkness. The stalemate was about to be completely shattered. Okay, so now they're armed with these insane cosmic weapons. They're allied with the hundred-handed monsters. The Olympians are finally ready for the final battle. And this wasn't just another clash of armies. This was a full-blown cataclysm that was about to reshape the universe itself. Just imagine the assault. The Hecatoncheires are unleashing a constant storm of 300 boulders at a time, just burying the Titans under this avalanche of rock. And at the same time, from above, Zeus is finally unleashing the full raw power of his thunderbolts over and over again. The ancient texts, man, they describe a scene of just absolute, total chaos. The heat coming off those thunderbolts was so intense, they say the very earth itself began to boil. This divine fire was scorching the entire planet. Whole forests were just catching fire, burning with a roar that literally shook the cosmos. There was absolutely nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. For the Titans, the end was just this blinding, searing light. The flash from Zeus's weapons was so powerful it burned their eyes, and they couldn't see. Facing this combined attack of rock, fire, and lightning, they finally broke. They were defeated. So, with the Titans defeated and locked away back in Tartarus, the war was finally over. But now the winners had a big decision to make. What do you do with the prize, the entire cosmos? And they chose to build a new order, not through tyranny like their father, but through a really surprising act of chance. And what's so fascinating is that the three brothers didn't fight over the spoils of war. Instead, they drew lots to divide up the world. Zeus won the heavens, and he became king. Poseidon drew the sea, and Hades got the underworld. Each of them became a sovereign ruler in their own domain. And this quote right here from Homer's Iliad is so crucial. Poseidon himself says that each brother received his portion of honor. And this tells you that Zeus wasn't some absolute dictator. Yeah, he was the king, but he ruled as a first among equals. His brothers held equal honor and power in their own realms. So the Titanomachy creates this new, more balanced cosmic order. But it really leaves us with a fascinating question to think about. By overthrowing his father, did Zeus actually break the cycle of tyranny for good and become a true liberator? Or was he just the winner of the most epic and most violent family feud of all time?